So, in the last class, what we had a discussion, we had a discussion about how, what you can say, how the database views will be there, and how, what we can say, how the database will be used will be there, and how this knowledge management was be there implemented in the system. So today in the class we will discuss about the inbound actions. Sorry. So we have seen how we can close this scenario for. Scenario for is nothing but if the problem is closed, it how automatically associated incidents and all of that will close it. So today we will discuss about the in previous classes we had a discussion about outbound email notification. Outbound, so email notification. So first one is the inbound, one is the out. So inbound receiving, sorry. So here the inbound email is nothing but what are the email notifications which we are receiving to the ServiceNow instance is called inbound emails. So second one is outbound, sending the emails to sending emails from ServiceNow instance. So that means we have already seen how we can configure a email from the ServiceNow whenever the incident is created, whenever the incident is resolved, and all other things. So for that we have seen the same thing. Now the next step here, inbound is nothing but whenever if you send an email to ServiceNow, it should convert as an incident or a request or a problem or a change or any other thing. So here what we will do is so for example whenever see some help desk portal, if you have any complaint, please drop an email to support at the rate something xyz.com. So at what happened, whenever if you write an email, immediately it will convert as an incident or something, so that we will receive the notification. So we will receive the notification stating that xyz incident has been created. So that means whenever if you send an email, how the system will create an incident for the user, that we will call it from the inbound. So inbound, that we will call service, we will call as a inbound actions. So if you want to do inbound actions, first what we need to do, we need to first enable the email properties. Email properties is nothing but, so what are the properties which we have to do? See, first is the outbound email configuration, which we have already had a discussion in the previous classes. And next one, inbound email configuration. So email receiving is enabled. If you want to receive the email notification, yes. So if you want to receive the system to email notification, we should give as a here. And next one, see, whenever if you are sending an email, So we will call as inbound action. So how many ways to we can send an email? So first one, whenever if you send an email, we can create a fresh email. That is, we can compose the email. That is new email, new. And second one, whenever if somebody has sent an email, what we can do it? We can forward that email to another one. And third one, whenever if you receive an email, we can reply that email. So this is the three type of emails where we can do it. New is nothing but composing a new record. That means new email. So forwarding the mail. Next one, reply is nothing but replying the email. Now what we will do is, so new composing a email is nothing but, so we are creating a new email that we will call as a new, that means that will create as a new inbound action at whenever if you're forwarding an email received from something, then we will call it as a forward email in as inbound action. And whenever if you receive email from that we reply it, that we will call it as a replying the email action. So that's a basic thing. Now here, see, identify the email as a reply by these subject prefixes. That means whenever if you're replying a email, we will see some what we can see. We will see some inboard prefixes. So like re, rwe, are as accepted, inactive, declined, case, or some XYZ configurations. Whatever we required, we can configure the same thing. That is the subject prefixes for the same thing. Now the next one is identifying the email as forward by these subject prefixes, which means whenever if you want to drop an email, sorry, if whenever if you receive a system received email, if the mail is consist of the prefixes is, which is a uh, forward or fw or fwd, like that. If you have anything, so that what we will do is we will the system will treat that as a what we can say, the system will treat that as a forward email, so that the forward email uh, will be the uh, so the forward email, it will treat as a forward email, so that we will now so that the forward inbound action whatever we have configured, it will be executed. Now next step, automatically created from the user email from the trusted domain. That means whenever if you receive email from that for creation of user from a trusted domain, that is a valid one, so that we can create the users for the same thing. That's the one. And next one, default password your users created from email sent to trusted domain or must reset upon login. That means, so do you want to provide any default password whenever the user is created from the inbound email action? So for that, do you want to perform or not? If you want to perform, we can click on the what are the password default we can give it. But right now we will not creating any users from that one. That's one. And next one, trusted domains. The trusted domains, that is nothing, while creating new users from incoming emails, ignore the email from unless trusted domain from, sorry, trusted domains, while creating new users from incoming email, ignore email from untrusted domains unless from an existing user. Use star for all domains. So uh, which means, so if the email is coming from servicenow.com, so that it's a trusted domain. It will allow the user to create a create a user for the same thing. So these are the basic properties where these you have to check it, or you have to configure whenever if you're creating a inbound email action. So I hope you guys you understand, right? Hello. Yeah, this is the properties you have to understand whenever we are configuring a new inbound email action for the same thing. Next one, email. Next one, if you want to send an email, we should require a email account. Email account is nothing but, so we have already discussion SMTP. There are two type of email action we can configure in ServiceNow here right now. So first one is the POP3. POP3 is nothing but which is a post office protocol which will work on the port number 110 in the system. And next one, SMTP protocol. As a service to SMTP. SMTP is nothing but simple mail transfer protocol, which is used to create the which is used to create all the stuff for the same thing. This is the basic thing. Now SMTP already we have configuring it. So for example, right now, but temporary, what happened? The ServiceNow has disabled the email accounts in the ServiceNow to receive it. So, and also whenever if you are sending an email, we should know it which instance email ID we have to configure. That means what are the whenever on which email ID if you send. So what we will do is so we should know it which email ID has to do it. See, this is the email ID. So if you configure the, if you send an email to this to, then only the ServiceNow will be, the email will be sent to the ServiceNow instance. This is the basic thing. And now, so whatever the email we can configure it. And now I'm just, we don't need this SMTP. This is the one. So if you give test correction, obviously it will be fail. Why? Because, oh, it's successful. It's very good. But what happened from September 1st, 2022 onwards, ServiceNow has disabled the email sending and receiving options. That means accounts in the system. So if you want to, but if you send an email, it doesn't work anything. So that's a thing. We have seen the same thing. Now, now what happened from here? If you want, we can configure again new email. You can go to the new. So name pop3, password, and what is the server name, active, what is the username, and what is the for connection security, and what is the port number it was working. Or if you want to any address filters, we can add. Right now we don't have any address filters. We can add. If you want to, we can create here short description like this. We can add any thing for it. Right now it doesn't require. So the so what happened? This email accounts will be will be configuring in the system. Now, let's see how we can create inbound email action in the system. Unfortunately, I cannot show this one as a practical scenario as ServiceNow has disabled the service in sorry inbound account. Sorry, see, this is the inbound actions. So inbound actions. See, inbound actions, system policies, inbound actions. You just navigate to here. These are all some out of the box inbound email actions which was configured in the system. So now what we are going to do is I'm just going to creating a new inbound action, incident email or something like we can write it. So here incident. for a couple of minutes. Okay. So this is the inbound email action. So we have read it and target table. So similarly, what is the target table? Which means what is the target table in service now? As we discussed, everything it should be what we can say it. Oh my God, still the page is unresponsive. Everything will be configured in a on the table only. So this we can configure here. So here the table target table. Target table is nothing but and which table we have to create the same thing. So let me. I think it's not opening. Okay, it's open. So what is the table? We can write it incident. So I'm just writing incident. So incident. So incident, and where if you want to perform any action inbound, it should be always active. So it should be always active for the same thing. And next one, stop processing. Stop processing is nothing but, so for example, if you want to once the this is done, it should be stop it. For example, if there are multiple conditions is matched for the inbound email action. So if the one if the, after this one there is no other inbound action has to execute it, then we can use the stop processing. The best practice always we can use stop processing for this one. And next one, record action and reply email. Record action is nothing but whether we can update or create the record, or reply email is nothing but we can reply the email for the same thing. But right now we are using a record action. And here type, what is the type here? New reply forward. New is nothing but, so new is nothing but whenever we are composing a fresh email, that is a new. And next one, reply is nothing but whenever we are replying email, that should be. Then forwarding. So whenever we receive a mail, we are forwarding the ServiceNow instance. That will be the forward. And next one, only emails from sender required from the required roles will be triggered for this one. That means you want to execute or something, whatever it might be. What we can do it. So, for example, if you, anyone can drop an email to service instance, so that it will create a record. So, which is unnecessary. If you want to restrict it to some particular users or particular something, we can use the same thing here. The required emails. So, what are the email? We can configure the same thing for it. And next one, execution order. Execution order is nothing but execution order is nothing but, so for example, as we discussed in the business tool or something, the lowest order will be executed the first. For here also, service now executed the lowest order the first. And next one, only from the image, the sender will want to trigger inbound action, which means if you want to execute a system or something particularly, so that it will be the here. So that means if you want to restrict this email to any one particular user, we can use the same thing for it. So this is the basic thing whenever we have uh, configuring a ser- service now uh, instance for the same thing. Now if you see this, what happened, this is the one. And next one is the condition. If you want to write a condition, like for example, see what is the body contains or subject content. For example, if I give as a subject, what is a subject? So subject contains or subject contains starts with something issue with something like issue with issue with something like if you created those type of scenarios, it will be created. If you want to, we can create a multiple times also. Subject contains under operations, that is a user. So for example, user starts with name with some different. So whatever you want, we can write the condition. If you want to write any script here, we can use this condition. This is the basic thing how we can configure this one. And next step is actions. Action is nothing but performing something. So if you go to the action, see, if you want to manually set any field, we can set the field here. So for example, I just want to give the state as a new. For example, by default state to whatever you want, we can give it. Or else if you want to something comments, so additional comments. So I just want to mention something incident created from the inbound email action. So if you want additional comments as a subject, we can do it. Or a body, we can copy. Our recipients, what are the recipients in that one, we can copy. Our sender, what is the sender, we can copy it. And for example, see for this one. Or else if you want to change to two, we can give as a manual text, we can create it. So and also we can give, for example, the caller, who is the caller. Caller want to whoever in the email, the sender, that means who is sending a email. So that user should be in the caller field in the system. If you want to do that, we can configure the same thing for here. And that's a thing. Like that, we can configuring the thing. For example, I'm just making a description as a email body from email body, which is a text, and short description I'm converting. So from the email subject, that means what are the email subject we have, it should be the same thing for it. So this is the thing. And here in the description, we can write what is about this inbound email action, we'll do the same thing. This is the basic fundamental. Now when come to the, this is the most important, the script. The script is nothing but how we can configure a inbound email action for the same thing. So that means whatever the inbound email action we are uh, performing, so which has to uh, whatever the inbound email action we are doing, so the script what we need to execute, we can write the script for it. So here the glide record is nothing but, as you know, glide record is a API which is used to call a tables API in the ServiceNow. API is, when you refer to API word, API is nothing but application interface for the same thing. Application interface. So uh, that's a basic thing we can as we discussed. Now the next step is, here we can write a one. So for example, if you want to send an email, we can write it. The format is like this one. So category. So we can write backend value software, and what we can say, category is software. Next one is impact. Impact is, since it is a low, we can write it as a one. And urgency, your GNCY, urgency is one. Next one, impact urgency priority will cache it automatically. So, and also here one more thing we forgot it. So here the channel we can configure as an email. email. channel is to email, we can configure it. That means how this one. And next one, um, category software hardware is hardware like this. And also if you want to write any other field, like for example, what about say service, let me open that incident form and we can check it how it will be open this one. So we are opening that incident form. We just wanted to see. So for example, if you see the services is SAP Enterprises. So for example, I'm just copying this one. So service, for example, I'm just making client services for the same thing. Now, so like this, we can send a fill a data in this format. We will send to the ServiceNow instance so that we can. Then how it will locate? Then we have to configure the same thing for it. Now that means email dot body. So what we will do is email dot body. In that email dot body, so what we can write it. So email dot body in whatever. So whatever we have written, so it will be stored in the email dot body dot in that script. So here what we can write it, whatever the inbound email dot body dot, so whatever. So here what we can record inbound, whatever we have seen it, it should be stored in the inbound dot email dot one. So for example, what we will write is whenever if a email is completed, so email dot body underscore category. So it will be stored here category. Sorry, email dot body dot. So it will be the category. It will be stored here. That means current dot category equal to where we can write it here. Current dot RRENT, current dot category key. Current dot category equal to email dot body dot category. So that's the first step. And next one, current dot impact equal to sorry, email dot body dot impact. Email dot impact. Next one, current dot urgency equal to your GNC urgency equal to email dot body dot urgency. There should be always a semicolon. Current dot urgency something current dot service equal to email dot body dot address, sorry, service. So like that, what are the fields we have configured? We can get it from the same thing. So or else, if you want to do, or if you want to configuring these emails, what we can configure is so here what we can write it. We can write a what are the values we have written it. So which means here what we can like this it will create a one, or if you want to email dot body, so for example we can pass it to where email equal to email body equal to email dot body underscore text. That means whatever the one it will be copied. So from that we can pass this email body to whatever field we require. But here what happened here email body, what happened we have already passed it to the description field. Description field is nothing but it's a field where we can configure the same thing for it. So like that we can configure the same thing, but here the problem is that whatever we cannot execute this one as it's a email accounts as not working in the one. So let me check in the system. I'm not sure whether we can receive emails, but let's try this one. And emails, email accounts, I don't think it will work here. Let's check it. So I'm opening my email. So composing email. So here what we return issue with, we can have mentioned it with the state issue with. I'm sorry. It's okay. We can write manually. Issue with laptop. So I think my laptop is frequently hanging. Please check and help us. Check and help me on this. So this one now I'm just trying to send an email. Let's see whether we can receive an email or not. So we have written. Don't think we will receive emails. So as it's a free instance, sorry, as it's a free thing, we cannot expect anything to receive it. I don't think we will receive email here. Let's check it. So as of my knowledge, it will not be good. Just give me 1 minute, guys. My laptop is charging down. Just give me power on the laptop. Okay, thank you. So now what we will do is, so I'm just going to open this one. I don't think we will receive those emails. So why? Because since that email accounts has disabled in the ServiceNow system, so we cannot receive email notifications. So we cannot do anything for it. So like that, we can configure and we can drop an email to the system. So this is the new inbound emails. So for the new. Similarly, if you want to create any other thing like forward incident updation. So for example, incident created from forward. Forward. So the target table, what is the target table we want to request? We can create it. So inbound action here, the record action. This is the one here, and forward. We can give the same concept. Required roles order from anyone. We can give it. I'm not giving any condition here. And actions. What is the script we want to write it? The same script, whatever we have written, we can write for the same thing here. How we can execute it from the option. So that is the basic fundamental of you can create a this one. So I'm not writing what are the script we have written earlier. We can write the same script also. I'm just trying to write. So like this, we can write a script and we can execute the same thing. So there is no difference between only inbound email action and the sorry inbound new and forward. Only the difference is whenever if you forward email, the forward inbound action will execute, and whenever if you write this one, this will be executed for the same thing. Now the next step is what we can say, the another inbound email action type, which is a reply email. That means whenever if you reply email, how it will be executed. So insert updation from reply, which is a active stop. And now, so when to run, so I'm just writing this one as a reply email so that it will execute. I'm writing not condition a. Actions is nothing but, so here email dot body current dot comments equal to email dot body. That means whatever in the body, so we can copy the same info to the email actions, and you want to perform any other updates. And also one more thing, whenever if you send an email to the system, whenever if you reply the email, how ServiceNow will be recognized, this will be happen to the uh, how the system will identify for the same. That means this has to execute in the particular record, and how system will recognize it. So if it is a manual thing, we can easily understand. For example, you can see an incident 100 has created, and you have sent an information to the user stating some xyz information. So whenever the user is want to update the same thing, when he replied, what happened, the system has to the system has to identify this record, this email has to update in the particular xyz record. How this can be achievable is nothing but the system which maybe happen. So which maybe happened due to the thing system. That means whenever if you are writing sending an email, we will write a thing is nothing but which is a we will send an in the email what we called watermark. Watermark is an unique thing for is unique for each and every email. That means whenever if you send an email, so it will create a one watermark. When the reply is comes from the same thing, what it was happened is, and the reply so from that watermark, the system will identify, it will update the particular record for the same thing. So that is a very important of the watermark for the same thing. I hope you already seen the watermark. If you want to, we can check that watermark example. So this is the one sample email. Oh my god. Yeah, we have received the email. See, an incident will be created for the same thing here. See, so category, I think we have not given software. What are the backend value? We have not given the backend value. That's the reason it has not came. And channel came. Short description it was there, and what you can say, how the laptop. See, whatever we are giving the email body, it was coming in the short, description field, and impact. So if you go to the impact, we have given the 1 2 3, so that values will be the same thing for here. So what are the we have given the impact, what is the value we have given, it will be comes for the same thing here. So like that, whatever we have configured from, we can come in the same thing. And see, we have set up a, the channel is email. Whenever you configure from there, we can configure the same here. So this is the, see, why it was showing as a guest. What are the email which I have not mentioned, which is not be part of the email. So that's the reason. So it was showing as a guest. So that means what are the email which I sent to the service to instance, which is there is no record is created with that instance available soon. So that's the reason it was not the same thing. So this is the basic scenario how it will works for the same. I hope you guys, you are clear, right? How this inbound email action operate. Yeah, thank you. So and also you can check it, and so this is one email dot body. If you reply, so what I'm giving the task is, whenever if a email is sent, there are few sample email inbound actions also there. You can take a help from them, and you can the incident has to create it, and has to update, and these three scenarios you have to check it. Okay, that means if you reply some email, the user has to send a has to update in the that particular incident only. So since you have not identified, what you will do is, if you go to the emails, so what are the emails sent to the user, so what you can just it you can copy it here. Just go to here, preview email. So you can copy the same thing here, and what are this one, and you can mention it in the email body, and you can send an email as a reply, or re or forward, what are the prefixes we have, we can do the same thing. So this is the thing we have to execute for the next class task. I hope you clear, right? You just try to do it and let me know if you have any issues. We can complete the next issues in the next class. Okay. Any questions with the previous topic? Okay, fine. If no other questions, we can wind up the session. Thank you so much, Pawan. Hopefully, you have a good day. Thank you. Bye.